So you're retired. Are you happy? Or are you feeling alone, useless, left out, left behind? Well, let me ask you, what were your expectations for retirement? If you're like the rest of us, you looked forward to this time with great expectations. You couldn't wait for the time to finally arrive. Well, let me ask you another question. Why? How did you imagine your life was going to be different in retirement? How did you imagine your life was going to be better than it was when you were? I think I can answer that question for you because this is me. I loved my work. I loved what I did. I was in the military for 33 years, and I would have stayed longer if they'd let me, but by law I had to retire. But I still yearned every day for that day when I could retire and take my leisure. No more getting up early, no more fighting traffic, no more boss to tell me what to do and where to go. And all those things are great if they were a reality, but they're not. They're not at all. I still get up early. It's a habit I can't break. I still have to fight traffic when I go to the store, to the restaurant, or if I go fishing or indulge in any of my other hobbies. And I still have a boss, my wife. As for the leisure, I don't think I've ever been more busy than I have been in retirement. I have the time now to do all the things I never had the time to do. And believe me, it takes up all my time. And if you're retired, you can relate to that. I think about it and I'm kind of bewildered by the fact that somehow I managed to do all these things while holding down a full-time job. I don't know how I did it, especially in the military when they require a lot of extra time from you. And now that the word is out that I have spare time, everybody wants a piece of me. Everybody thinks that I can come along and help them with their projects. My daughter, my grandsons, my church, my pastor, my neighbors. And you know what? It sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm not. Of course, I'm available to help them and I'm happy. You know, it's so easy to acquiesce to the people you love and care about and to help them out. So I'm not complaining. But there are some adjustments that we have to make in retirement beyond that time. And I know it because I've lived through it. Now, all your life, you have lived to the expectations of others. When you were a child, you were expected to go to school. You were expected to do your chores. You were expected to listen to mom and dad. You were expected to do your homework. As a teenager, you were expected to start thinking about your future. You were expected to be reverential to your mom and dad. You were expected to call when you were going to be late and let them know where you're at. And then as a young adult, you were expected to make your future happen, to work towards it. You went to college because you were expected to, or you went to a trade school, or perhaps you just entered an apprenticeship program somehow, a local union or something. Or maybe you joined the military or the police force or the fire department, or you went into the medical field where expectations were even more regimental than they are in other careers. And you were expected to do all that. Then you were expected to get married and you were expected to raise a family. Oh, no doubt you wanted to do all those things, but still you were expected to do it. There was a pattern that you were expected to follow in life, a norm, a structure, if you will. There was always someone to tell you how to act, how to live, what to do, when to do it, where to do it, how to achieve the things that you needed to achieve in life, even if they weren't those things that you wanted to achieve. And you followed that pattern. You went to school, you went to work, you got married, you raised a family. And then all of a sudden, even though you earnestly looked forward to doing it, retirement was upon you and you were caught off guard. And while you weren't surprised by retirement coming up on you, had planned for it, the reality of what retirement was hit you pretty hard. You were no longer in the pattern. The pattern was gone. The structure was gone. There was no one to tell you what to do, or when to do it, or where to do it, or how to do it. Now, don't get me wrong. Retirement is great. It feels great because it is great. You feel free because you are free. But you're going to have to make some real adjustments in retirement if you're going to be successful. And I'm not talking about money or finances. You know, money is going to be a little tighter in retirement than it was when you actively were working. And hopefully you've planned for that so that you'll have no problems. But I'm talking more about mental and emotional adjustments you're going to have to make. Life was easy when it was structured. You may not think so, but it was easy because you didn't have to think it through. When you simply had to meet someone else's expectations, your time was spoken for and it was easy to accomplish. You knew where you had to be, where you had to go, what you had to do when you got there. You didn't have to think much about what you did because it came second nature. You just did it. Your time was someone else's. Now, your time is your own. There's no boss. There's no structure. There's really no expectations. And unless you planned your retirement out, and listen, most of us don't plan it out to that degree. Unless you plan to have a second career or to start your own business, you've been thrust kind of into a world that you're not familiar with, where there's no structure, no plan, no anything except leisure time. And you're going to have to learn how to adjust to that. But you earned your leisure time, so enjoy it for a while. Bask in your newfound freedom for a while. Go fishing, go boating, go golfing, travel with your spouse, do anything you want to do for a while. But then inject some structure back into your life. Don't become idle, because idleness breeds laziness. And for people our age, laziness means bad medical problems, and you don't want that. Now, no one's going to structure your life. You're going to have to do it on your own. You have to take control. Sit down and think out your future, and sit down with your spouse, your wife or your husband. Sit down and plan it out with them. Let them be a part of it. Just develop a routine. Exercise every day. Walk, bike, run, whatever you do it. But do it like 20 minutes a day. Plan some outings with your spouse. Pick a hobby that interests you and indulge in it once in a while. Plan some remodeling work around the house. Include yard work and gardening in your routine. And volunteer at an animal shelter, a hospital, or somewhere else where you can be of help to somebody else. The idea is not to come out of retirement, but to stay reasonably busy, to keep your body and your mind active and healthy, and to maintain an attitude of self-worth. That's so very important. Now, it may be a bit of a struggle to organize your life again. I understand that. I mean, most of us want to just kick back and unwind and relax. But if you do that too often and you do it for too long, it ain't good for your health, my friend. So force yourself to make a plan and then follow it. Battle your natural inclination to wind completely down and stay busy. You can do it. You've got this.